why did you get involved in the marijuana movement?
Well, you know, I could have gotten my prescription back when Prop 215 started, but I waited throughout the Bush years because I did not trust him. I waited
No way. You didn't trust George Bush?
No, no. I waited for the President, Obama, to say that federal resources would not be well spent on states that had cannabis laws on the books. Now, I read the Sun newspaper in San Bernardino, and I've been following your columns. You were the only pro-marijuana voice in this newspaper. So when the time came for me to get my doctor's prescription, I found out where you were, and I got my doctor's prescription at the Health and Wellness Center, and at THCF. Now you've changed the name, but it's a wonderful place.
So what inspired you to get your recommendation was the fact that I see columns published in the San Bernardino Sun.
Yes.
And so you came down there and you got your recommendation. But what inspired you to get so involved? You have really put yourself out with a lot of different things. I call you the troubadour of medical marijuana. You're in a lot of, why most people don't do anything?
Well,
why did you decide to do so much?
I found out that here in California, all is not well. You know, the rest of the country thinks that you can get a prescription for a hangnail and that you can smoke dope anywhere. But the reality is my friends are having their doors kicked down. Some of them are looking at sentences of 10 years to life for trying to help sick people with a plant that the voters of California has said, okay, yeah.
This is interesting. You said your friends have had their story. You didn't know these people before you got involved in this movement.
No.
Has this movement kind of opened your world up to a whole bunch of new people?
I have met dozens of wonderful new people through MAP, through the Human Solution, through ASA, through CLSA, through Normal. One thing leads to another, and all of these people are the most wonderful, generous people, the salt of the earth, you know?
Well, it's interesting, because one of the reasons, you should get involved is because you're going to meet a lot of really great people. It's amazing. Marijuana people are better people.
Yes, they
That's
are.
all there is to it.
And they care.
Yeah, they do care. Yeah, well, that's what marijuana does. It makes you more tolerant, more understanding, more humane. It brings out the humanity in people.
Yes.
Yeah, very much so. So, I know you've recently been involved in this protest in Long Beach at Ace Hardware store. Tell us about this Ace Hardware store and what's going on, or what was going on in Long Beach that you got involved
Well,
in.
last week our friend Madeline Johnson contacted me. She lives in Long Beach. She was handed a flyer that was very offensive to her. On one side it had an American flag. On the other side it had a cartoon character holding up a sign that says, "Pot shops equal trouble." Now it didn't specify which pot shop, but it was very offensive. We called the owner of the Long Beach Ace Hardware store who propagated this material. His name's Trent Barnes, and he assured me that he was not against medical marijuana, just the pot shop across the street. Okay. What is despicable is he made another flyer in Spanish, and he duped a bunch of immigrant families to bring their preschool children in to block the entrance to the 4th Street Long Beach Natural Solution Collective on the corner of 4th and Olive in Long Beach. Now, the ironic thing is they were all holding up signs that say, "Not around my children," and "This pot shop is bad for children," and yet they drag their unwitting children to block the entrance to a dispensary so sick patients cannot get access to their medicine. I think it's despicable.
So they actually prevented people from getting into the
Yes, they did.
collective. Wow, that's really something. So what's happened as a result of this?
Well, we've started a Facebook page called Boycott Long Beach Ace Hardware, and we would like everybody to join and like the page, and we want that to go viral. We've been calling Ace's corporate headquarters at 866-290-5334 and urging them to tell Trent Barnes at the Long Beach Ace Hardware to stop the hate. Ace used to be the helpful place. His Ace is the hateful place. We're also asking your listeners and your viewers to call Trent Barnes himself at the Long Beach Ace Hardware store. His number is 562-438-8938. Ask him why he hates cannabis patients.
And so, but he's done more than just go against the store. Isn't he kind of doing some other things now?
Trent Barnes, well, he told us last week. He called me up Friday morning to try.
He called you?
Yeah, he called me up. I'm sure Ace Hardware corporate headquarters leaned on him a little bit, and they asked me if I wanted to hear from this guy, and I said not unless he had an apology or an explanation. Well, he didn't apologize, and his explanation was pretty flimsy. Basically, is not in our neighborhood.
Not in our neighborhood. Yeah, that is so typical. That is so typical. You know, it's I need to point out once again that these hardware stores are individually owned. They're franchises, so they don't necessarily represent what the corporation says. What happens when you call the corporation? What does the corporation say?
They are very polite and understanding. I performed the song that I'm going to sing for you for one of them, and they
on the telephone. You sang a song.
They got a big kick out of it. Their basic policy is each store is privately owned and operated. But as our friend Daniel said, if they were promoting a KKK rally, would corporate stay mum on that? We don't think so.
Absolutely correct. And what's interesting is that, you know, I can't help but thinking, remember the big Chick-fil fiasco when they came up with the owner of the store, the franchise, not the franchise, the owner of the whole corporation
was against the gay liberation
marriage thing, and then all this big brouhaha stuff. You know, why do they want to get involved in it?
I don't know. It's bad public policy, and even Chick-fil-A, they've backtracked and they've said that they are not going to use advertising money for groups that discriminate against the gay population.
Right. So
it does work.
It absolutely does work. If we don't get out and do this, then these people feel what they're doing is right, and it's okay. And until people like Rory and the other people who sat there and brought this before this guy, you know, he probably didn't expect to get a fight against it.
Right.
He probably really thought everybody would just jump up and down and pat him on the back, and that's not what he's getting. And we need to surprise people like that.
Now, we don't know how many immigrants are going to be dragging their children to the Ace Hardware store this Friday, but we're planning on having another counter-protest in front of Ace. They blocked the dispensary entrance. I'm thinking that we should block the Ace entrance this time.
This is going to be interesting because they blocked, of course, the collective probably didn't call the cops and complain, did they?
The cops were called. The cops were there.
What'd they do?
They stood by. Actually, there was a homeless man that got into a fight in front of the dispensary, and the cops didn't do anything about it. They just stood there.
But did they allow people who were trying to get into the collective?
No, the collective had to shut down because of these children.
I'm wondering if you block the hardware store and the cops come, I bet they'll arrest you.
Probably.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Maybe we should bring some unwitting children.
Well, anyway, Rory is, like I said, a medical marijuana troubadour. He has written many, many songs, which he sings a cappella about different things that are happening in the movement. And Rory's written a song about the Ace Hardware store fiasco. Rory?
Won't you wise up, Ace Hardware? Won't you wise up? Long Beach has done you wrong. They're spreading lies and hatred. They're even duping children just 'cause I use a bong. Remember last Friday evening? We lined the streets, 100 cannabis patients strong. Trent Barnes, you're a disgrace. Your Ace a hateful place. We're angry and the boycott's on. Thank you, Lanny.
Listen, if somebody wants to get more information about the Ace Hardware store, is there some kind of a website or?
Yeah, it's Boycott Ace Hardware Facebook page. The phone numbers are on there. You can also look on my Facebook page, and if you like me, friend me, and I can give you more information there too.
If you like him and friend you, he will deliver a gram to your. No.
I wish.
Thank you, Roy.
Thank you.